Hey guys, today I have got a Whirlpool Estate brand washer and electric dryer. This is a direct drive style with the center agitator, which I'll show you here in a sec. I've got it filled up, working on a large, I call it a large load of laundry in there, set to extra large on the water level. I've got it set to cold, and we're going over here normal, and I started out on the right about heavy, so it's working its way through. It's full of water. You can see it agitating. Doing an excellent job getting those clothes moved down, and that agitator is moving clockwise in one direction. That's how you know it's working correctly. And moving along. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow it to move through the wash cycle, and then once it is done with the wash cycle, it'll drain the water out, which I'll show you draining the water out, and then it'll do the fill up for the rinse cycle with clean fresh water. Then it'll drain that out. That'll be back for the final spin cycle, which will be right about here, which is what we'll come back for, and I'll show you that it's got a nice fast smooth final spin. Now once it's spinning and you lift this lid up, the lid switch will engage and it'll shut the machine down, so it's got a safety feature for that high-speed spin cycle. And once it's all done, we'll move the clothes over to the dryer, and I'll show you that the matching dryer is working perfectly as well. I always do about 4 loads through these and test all the switches and make sure it works in all the modes and everything. And then on this last cycle, I do a video as if you were standing here yourself, checking it out. You get to see that everything's working perfect. So we'll go ahead and let this move through and we'll come back. Okay, moving out of the wash cycle into the rinse cycle. You hear that running that drain nice and fast. Then once it's done draining the water out, it'll switch over and spin the water out before it fills up with fresh water for that rinse cycle. I will actually just go ahead and show you real quick that the dryer's up and running. We'll go ahead and just set it to 70, which is time dry. We've got a high heat setting. We just hit go. You got a cycle switch, so you can turn that on or off. That's kind of nice if you have kids sleeping or pets or anything. If you don't want that to bother them, you switch it off. You've also got a low setting for your delicate items. You've got a no heat fluff for really delicate items. Otherwise, you've got time dry on high heat. And you have an auto sensing drying, which you just kind of set it here and forget it. And it senses how wet and how heavy the load is and kind of does its thing. I'm going to give that just a second to heat up. And then here, that's where your lint trap is. You're going to pull that out and take the lint off, throw it away before each load. And what I've got here is I've got a temperature sensing gun. So it's about 80 degrees on top of the dryer. We shine that down on the concrete floor. You see it's about 68 degrees down there. And so what I'm going to do is open this. You can see that light's on and it's tumbling. And we'll shoot this right inside the heating element tube. So right here is going to be the hottest part of the dryer. Really hot coming out of that tube, but the inside of your dryer is only going to heat up from about 95 up to 195, and that just depends on what you have your heat setting at. So the air comes in here, it's going to dry the clothes and exit there, which is where the lint trap catches any extra lint. Then the air travels out in the back of your dryer there. Just hit start, and you can see it's nice and quiet. It would actually be even quieter once you get it in place and put the vent hose on the back. And so we'll come back and finish up with that washer spinning out those clothes, which will be in just a sec. All right, just about full speed on that spin cycle as it's approaching the end of the cycle here. Now when I lift this lid up, it's going to stop it, put the brakes on and slow it down. It's a safety switch. However, you'll be able to see that it is spinning nice and fast. And as you can see here, very smooth, sounds great. Excellent operation here. So let's go ahead and lift this up. There you go. You can see, shuts it down, but it's spinning nice and fast and balanced. And that's gonna do it. I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch my video. I'll go ahead and get these listed up for sale. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks, you guys have a great day.